No one tells you this, but if you're not considered beautiful, life treats you differently, not openly, not cruelly, just quietly. There is a kind of lesson many women learn early in life, not through words, but through patterns. It begins quietly. Some girls are noticed the moment they enter a room. Their presence feels welcome. Their voice feels expected. Others learn that attention has conditions. If you are not considered beautiful, you are not openly rejected. You are simply treated as less important. No one announces it, no one explains it, but you feel it. You feel it in conversations that move past you, in eyes that don't linger, in moments where your presence is optional. You notice whose opinions are listened to first, whose mistakes are forgiven more easily, whose presence is welcomed without effort. And slowly, you understand something unspoken. Beauty is not just admired, it is rewarded. When you don't fit that expectation, you are expected to compensate with kindness, with patience, with gratitude. You are taught to be easy to deal with, to smooth things over, to not take up too much space, to not make things uncomfortable. You learn early that being agreeable feels safer than being honest. Opportunities are not denied directly, they are delayed, overlooked, given to someone who fits more easily into the image people are comfortable with. When you speak with confidence, it is questioned. When you assert a boundary, it feels inconvenient to others. But when you stay quiet, everything feels smoother. So you adapt. You learn to soften your tone. You explain yourself carefully. You choose words that won't disturb the room. You learn to ask gently, or not at all, because asking for fairness often feels like asking for permission. In classrooms, intelligence may be noticed later than appearance. In workplaces, effort may need more proof. In relationships, discomfort may be minimized. Not because it isn't real, but because it isn't pleasing. And over time, this teaches a dangerous lesson that respect must be earned, that dignity is conditional, that rights depend on how acceptable you appear. Slowly, approval becomes confused with worth. Silence begins to look like maturity. Endurance begins to look like strength. Many women begin to blame themselves for not being enough, for not trying harder, for not fitting better. But what's really happening is that value is being assigned before you even speak. Being denied doesn't always look like rejection. Sometimes it looks like being invisible. Ideas are skipped. Boundaries are crossed. Discomfort is brushed aside. And because it happens quietly, you're expected to tolerate it quietly too. Many women grow up learning to shrink, not because they want to, but because it feels safer. Safer than being labeled difficult, safer than being dismissed, safer than being ignored completely. So more is given, more patience, more understanding, less expectation in return, until one day something begins to feel heavy, not dramatic, not obvious, just heavy, a quiet exhaustion, a feeling of fading. That's when the realization comes that being unseen for so long has slowly taught you to disappear from yourself. Healing doesn't begin with becoming beautiful, or louder, or more agreeable. It begins with recognizing this truth. You are never asking for too much. You are asking for what should never have been withheld. Basic respect, consideration, the right to exist without earning it. And when that understanding settles in, something shifts. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop shrinking to keep peace. You stop measuring yourself through someone else's comfort, because dignity is not a reward. It is a right. And anyone who made you feel otherwise was never qualified to decide your worth in the first place. And maybe the real question isn't why you learned to shrink. Maybe the question is, who benefited from you believing that you had to?